Saba ABBA, I think, and a little bit Eskimo-ish. It's quite comfortable.
But Smirnoff International Fashion Awards are happening on Friday. We've been plugging it all over the place on Channel V. And yeah, we've got joining us in the studio a couple of the hot models of the parade. We've got Kyla and Donna with us. How are you, Kyla?
Good, hey.
You got a mouthpiece in your mouth.
Yes, part of the outfit.
So that's all part of the outfit. You've got a bit of a silver smile happening there.
Yes.
So what's all this about then? What are they?
Well, it's the outfit's untitled, so I don't know, but it's sort of like a kept woman, I guess.
Right.
Can't speak, plastic and the bullets.
You got bullets, so
Yeah.
it's the kind of one you'd walk around in like a seedy part of town in.
Yeah.
Who actually designed that one?
A girl called Jane Webster, and she's at the University of Technology. Yeah, so she's done a good job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How about yours, Donna?
Oh, mine was designed by a girl called Michelle Wagstaff, and it's a bit of Saba ABBA, I think, and a little bit Eskimo-ish.
Yeah, you're
it's quite
looking a bit
comfortable. It's pretty groovy, actually.
You actually look like the girl in... No, I should say.
Saba Agnew, yeah, right.
But looking at these outfits, the theme's decadence. You're looking pretty decadent.
Yes.
And but looking at them, you could actually wear them out. You know, it's the kind of thing that you could definitely say, well, you'd be looking pretty smooth walking into a club like that.
Ready to
Maybe
party.
minus the helmet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is a fantasy night, so they've really gone overboard, but there's some pretty wild outfits as well. There's Toddy Goldsmith's got a really amazing creation made out of stockings, and
Out of stockings.
It's out of stockings. It's actually stocking material, and they've stitched another few things in, but it's pretty hot because she's got the great bod and she can wear it. And
Right.
it's a good night, and the public can come.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit shattered actually because there's no guys doing the parade. I did it last year and I had an absolute ball. And I think while I was waiting for you guys to get ready, I was sort of like hoeing in a little bit. But
We can imagine.
you know. But yeah, any other interesting outfits, Kyle's?
Yes, there's also one made out of a condom, or condoms, which is very hot to wear.
When you said a
Really?
condom, I was thinking, geez, it has to be a small model.
No, lots of condoms.
Not if it was my size, but hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we had five double passes to give away, and those passes have been given away for the parade itself and for the after party, which is going to be huge. I went to the after party last time, and yeah, that's about it for the moment. But up now, no less talented than the fashion designers, more so I reckon, we've got Rani. Yeah, she is the daughter of Kamal, but she's much better looking, and she plays a pretty bloody catchy tune to boot. This one's called Always On My Mind. That 7.5 minute epic from Oasis, do you know what I mean, off their album Be Here Now? Well, it's not quite here now. It's 2 days away, out on Thursday, so the rush for that one should be pretty huge because they've taken their time to bring it out. Well, we've got Donna and Kyla back here in the studio, still, or shouldn't say back, you're still here. And it's on the front cover of Oyster, this as well, so it must be important, hey?
Very.
And of course, the winners of this competition, or the winner of the competition, goes to London to compete in the finals. And what do they win once they're there?
£10,000.
£10,000.
And a scholarship to,
What is it?
I think it's St Martin's. Central St Martin's.
That's right, Central St Martin's, so
Great
which is a
design
really
school,
prestigious
yeah.
art school, and yeah, so that's a huge prize. Yes, but you girls don't get to go over and model the outfit if you
I
win.
think they need us to,
That's a
definitely.
bummer. Yeah, I reckon too. Let's campaign for it. Well, best of luck in the parade, and I hope it all goes really well.
Thanks,
Should be
mate.
fun anyway, because last year was just a ball, and now that it's open to the public, it's probably going to be even more crazy. And
Definitely, it's going to be a great
they'll
night.
go hard.
Definitely.
Anyway, we've got CDB now, and I remember introducing these guys about 10 years ago before a Peter Andre show, and they've both come a very long way since then. It's been good times for the lads. This is it, good times. Now, as you may or may not know, the national finals of the Smirnoff International Fashion Awards are coming up on August the 22nd in Sydney at the State Theatre. It's a student fashion competition that's judged by a panel of Australian fashion industry luminaries. Every year, students come up with amazing designs based around a theme, and this year it's decadence. It's always a huge event, and for the first time, tickets are going on sale to the public. Smirnoff are offering 5 Channel V viewers the chance to win double passes to the event, the glamorous after party, and the even more glamorous after party. I've been there, they go off. For further details, dive into the Channel V website for your chance to win, and our very own Kyla and Donna will be modelling on the night too. Schwing. And we'll be getting them on PM sometime soon to give us a bit of a sneak preview of what they'll be wearing. And in other giveaway news, Friday night is the night for Smirnoff International Fashion Awards. And as we've been plugging it like crazy for the last few weeks, Smirnoff are giving 5 Channel V viewers double passes to the awards, the after party and the after party. These are valued at around $500, and want to know who won? Well, I'll tell you as soon as we've had a quick look at some highlights from last year's parade. Well, that was last year's awards. The theme for designers was Future Vision. This year it's Decadence, much better I reckon. Our own Kyla and Donna are modelling 2 of the entries, and if you'd like a peek at those outfits, be watching PM on Tuesday. Anyway, enough stalling. The winners of the 5 double passes are, here they are. Oh, no they're not, actually. This one. Yeah, we have got Rashumba, and she wrote, I would love to win tickets to Decadence as it would be the ideal birthday present for my sister. She turns 22 on August the 22nd and is an absolute addict of fashion. She studies fashion and entered the Smirnoff competition. Unfortunately, her designs were not picked for the finals. I know she would be totally blown away if she got the chance to attend this event. If I won the double pass, I would give the tickets to my sister so she could take herself and a friend to the parade. Good on you, Rashumba. You got a pass. Here's another one, Jason Cathcart. The reason, so I can perv on the models and get a little pissed. Good a reason as any, you won. Got another one, Lisa Shauna. I'm a textiles teacher and love to keep up with the latest trends. I also have a fabulous time when I'm in Sydney, so I'd really enjoy it. Decadence, excellent. There you go, you've got it as well. Scott Rennie, you've won as well. He says, I could say stuff like I'm really interested in fashion. I think it would be educational for me. I love the little nibblies. But for me, being the hormonal teenage boy, or man, whatever he calls himself, there isn't many things better than being in a room filled with people who are either very famous or very beautiful, especially the females. Cool. Bruno Corretto, you've won one too. 2 tickets, should I say. My motives are plain and simple. I want to get elegantly wasted, VIP style, and mingle with the creme de la creme of the new wave of fashion designers. After all, our society revolves around fashion and vanity. To see the ideas of our generation is an insight into the future. So, to those 5 people, congratulations. You've got double passes to the Fashion Awards. It goes off. I went there last year, but I'm at the snow this year, so I won't. Well, last week was the Australian final of the Smirnoff International Fashion Awards. It's a very cool competition where student designers come up with the most way-out creations around a set theme. This year's being Decadence. The models are all celebrities, and this year including our very own Donna and Kyla, so it's over to them.
Hi there, I'm backstage here at the 1997 Smirnoff International Fashion Award.
Now tonight we've got 25 competitors competing to win this award.
It's a collaboration of all the top young designers.
When I go to London and represent Australia in the international finals. Now I'm standing here with Jane who designed my outfit. Jane, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Basically, the reason why I designed this outfit was we had to look back at the last decade and design an outfit that was definitive for the decade. And I looked through Time magazines and saw a lot of violence.
The theme of the show is decadence. Now, can you explain how you felt decadence, what your interpretation of decadence is?
Well, the part of decadence I took was looking at scanning and barcodes with the numbers, as you can see, embossed into the rubber. I'm saying in the future we won't be known by name, we'll be known as a number, as with tax file numbers and barcodes and all that sort of thing, student numbers as well. Right. So we'll lose our identity in the world. And I decided to use a combination of knit and fur to break down deterioration.
I wanted to have the knitted dress underneath. That was sort of a sign of hope for in the future. So when the actual bloodshed of the skirt comes off, you've actually got something that's a bit sort of more happier for the future. And these are actually just to simulate a bullet belt to keep the bullets in. And these are just bullets spray painted over the top. And the reason why I've got sort of her mouth bound and her arms bound and the helmet is supposed to cover up her eyes as well is just basically that no one's sort of listening to each other at the moment, and we're not taking action to make the world a better place.
And what's the actual fabric you've used here?
It's a nylon knit. It's a lace stitch.
I'm starting to get a bit excited. I have been a bit nervous, but no, I'm starting to get a bit excited now.
So in 10 years' time, where do you think you're going to be? Or where would you like to be?
I want to still be in Australia designing for Australia.
And what do you think about the other designs?
I think some of them are really great. I've been walking around trying to see how they're made and things like that, because they are really creative.
I come from Brisbane, Morton Institute of Tape, so I'm a long way away.
I've called it Queen of House, and I based it on just the gay and lesbian movement and coming out.
It's about the speed of communication in this decade, because that's what I think impacts on us to such a great extent, technology and the computer age.
This side was made out of latex, and it was quite complicated because I had to do a clay mould of it first on a mannequin, then I had to do a plaster cast, and then I had to paint the latex into the plaster cast, so it was quite time consuming, it took a lot of time. And this side is made out of clear plastic tubing with coloured plastic inside, which is also meant to, if it's got a UV light on it, it actually glows. Well, it should, and some glitter in there as well.
It's inspired apparently by Rwanda and the disaster there, and these are real KFC chicken bones.
I'd love people to wear this down the street, but that's not going to happen.
I'm not quite sure whether this is a cow pad or a burn or a bit of an explosion.
Well, I'm one of 25, so I'm really excited about that, just to be a finalist alone. It's wonderful.
Been in Australia for 5 years, but originally 10 years ago in Paris they had a post-student party, and they asked Smirnoff to supply them with Smirnoff for the night, with vodka for the night. And they saw that this was the perfect target market to get new young vodka drinkers, like the 18 to 25-year-old market. And it just evolved in the next 2 years in London and into the Smirnoff International Fashion Awards, to the stage where it is now. There's 36 countries compete every year. Lots of celebrities. We have Tanya Zayeda, Toti Goldsmith, who else do we have?
Channel V.
All the Channel V girls, they're the sexiest ones. What do you find the most revolutionary thing in the last decade? What affected you the most in the last decade?
What does decadence mean to me? A good party.
All the things that smell and taste and feel good.
The opulence and sheer extravagance.
Friday night. This is what happens before the show. You get your makeup.
This is me on a heavy night.
Oh my God, have you seen the shoes I'm wearing?
It's buzzing. It's electric.
Time's ticking away here, getting very close.
And I'm just waiting to be able to get up and do something with myself.
No dramas, no tantrums yet.
This is what you call big hair.
And we're going to have fun, aren't we?
We are going to have fun.
And we just can't wait for the party afterwards.
It's finished. Wish me luck.
Smack my bitch up.
The national winner is Elizabeth McCreasy.
I really can't believe I've won. I really didn't expect it at all, so it's fantastic.
No, it works really well. I think it's like the first one that sort of has come out and is it's better than its drawing. It's fantastic. The fabrication, everything is amazing.
The students' brief was decadence, and their interpretations ranged from intergalactic through to earthy environmental. 5 judges, including designers Nikki Zimmerman and Mark Carey, sifted through hundreds of entries from design colleges and universities around the country, narrowing it down to 25 finalists. Nikki Zimmerman was impressed with the imagination shown in the garments. Can you actually see the potential coming from one of these sort of weird and wacky garments?
Yeah, I think so. I think that there can be an interpretation from what these are. These are catwalk garments, and I think that the idea that they can be sort of culled down and made into something that is, you know, a street-worthy garment, and there definitely is a few that could happen with.
What do you think of the standard so far?
I think the amount of detail is overwhelming because they worked just so hard at it. I think that the creative input is incredible.
25 nervous students waited to show their creations. Jane Webster from the New South Wales University of Technology.
This is sort of probably the only opportunity you're going to have to really let your imagination run wild as far as designing is concerned. Is that a good thing?
It is. It's a great thing to just to let your ideas just go, and you don't have to restrict them by who's going to buy the garment or who's going to wear the garment or what market it fits in. You just let your emotions and your designs go crazy and just do whatever you want to do. It's really good.
Opposition leader Peter Collins can see export dollars in the future.
What Australians are good at is creativity. We've got extremely creative people. Tonight we will see that creativity on stage.
A slickly choreographed performance suited the garments, which by no means belonged on the average runway. Considering these students had just one garment with which to demonstrate their technical abilities, design skills and fabric knowledge, the standard was very high. And with all of this going on at once, there was a lot to take in. The approach to filling the brief the students were given were all very different, and it was hard to predict who would win.
The second runner-up is Tanya Serini.
But the big winner off to London to represent Australia in the international final was Elizabeth Marcus from the University of Technology of New South Wales.
Oh, I feel fantastic. I can't believe it, but it's such a great opportunity. It's just thrilling. Can't wait to get to London.
Previous winner Mindy McTaggart is now starting her own label.
Do you think these awards really boosted your career?
It has. It has. It's given me the belief, and it's opened a lot of doors that would have been slammed ordinarily, because a lot of people think, ooh, young designer, no experience, no industry field experience or anything like that. So
for the other 24, it was enough just to have made it this far and to have their creations highlighted in front of more than 2,000 fashion junkies.
Welcome back. Are we still singing Butterfly Kisses? Wasn't that a ho-hum? Good luck with the competition. It's random. Those lines are open till midnight. Well, listen, on Friday night, some of Australia's most talented fashion students will unveil their wares at the Smirnoff International Fashion Awards. The theme of this year's award is decadence. Gee, the 90s is back, and all the 80s. Joining us to preview some of the finalists, the designs, is awards-winning designer himself, organiser, and he's done it, and he's done it, and he's done it, and he's done it, and he's done it. Mark Patrick, along with designer Mark and Mark. Well, both of you eminently qualified to judge the students. Now, the theme decadence. What are the judges looking for, Mark?
Well, it's an international brief. This year there's 36 countries participating in the Smirnoff Awards. So it's set by John Galliano, who now designs for Givenchy in Paris. And decadence, it's basically take what you think is the most relevant event that's happened in the last decade and translate that into a garment, whether it can be the resurgence of drag queens or the burning down of the Great Wall of China. Mm-hmm. So it's really the individual's interpretation. So this year we've had over 300 students in Australia entered, and we chose 25, the judges chose 25 finalists.
Mm-hmm. So it's really not on wearable fashion.
Not at all. This is really their last chance to do something fabulous before they go into the world and do chinos and denim shirts. Mm-hmm. But there is one reality to it, that they have to do a garment. The winner in Australia who goes to London has to do a garment that has a commercial aspect to it. Yes.
Mark, how important for young designers, because they're still students, is a competition and an international competition like this? What does it mean?
Well, I think the future of the industry, Kerry-Ann, has to do with creativity, and out of this sort of competition you get the great talents coming through, so you can't overestimate how important it is. You know, it's a great opportunity for all young students of design.
Okay, well, you brought along some of the best for us, and let the show begin. Now, I'm going to let you talk me through some of these, because they are bizarre, ladies and gentlemen. Open those eyes. Now, our first, where's my little list? Our first today, our model Yvette is coming out in a design from Tanya.
Sarimi. From the White House School in Sydney. This is peacock, they're pheasant feathers, sequin, leather, and chiffons that are printed. She's printed them herself.
Bronze sequins on the front are fabulous.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
And the outfit is called Feathers.
Feathers, yes. And it's very tribal, urban tribal, I think the description of it is.
So what do you think of that combination of the leather mark with the sequins, with the chiffon and the odd feather? It's like something I'd normally wear.
Yes, no, I think that colour-wise, I think it's very interesting, Kerry-Ann, but I think also in this whole competition, I think it's very important that we realise that fashion is about entertainment, so there's got to be that sort of spirit that comes through in the designs, and I think this design here has that. There's that whimsical factor.
Okay, and Tanya's from the White House School. Our second model is Kyla. Welcome, Kyla. And the designer is Jane Debster, and I believe it's called the bullet garment.
The bullet garment, yes. Instead of buttons, it's done up with bullets across the front, and then she knitted the fabric herself, and then the big plastic wrap's got the bullets going down there, and the newspapers, all the bullet holes, and she's tortured with a safety belt.
Oh, yes, it's coming to me. So the safety belt, so you really can't get in and out of that one too easily?
I don't think so.
Okay, what is the, is there a statement, a social statement in bullets with newspapers?
I think it's most probably the aggression of the media.
Very interesting. Our next model is Fiona Horn. Michelle Wagstaff from the University of Technology. And have I got this one right?
Yes.
The plastic garment. What's the plastic garment, Mark?
You go, Mark.
What this is she's embossed all the fabric on the outside, but you must understand that in this brief, most of them relating their design to how they perceive the decade. So for some of them, this has obviously got a retro feel, and so it's her interpretation from a 70s sort of design using those sorts of fabrics.
And are they Ugg boots? Are they 1997 Ugg boots?
I think so.
Close enough.
They're covered with fur, and she's knitted that whole. All the pants are knitted, and underneath.
The amount of detail on all of them is just fantastic.
Really, and the headdress is fascinating too. Is it copper? Is that heavy? It's not. And the blue lipstick is a great colour. I wake up like that on mornings. Okay,
it's a bit hard for Fiona to sing in that garment, I think.
Whoa, now, close your eyes, boys. The symbol of money, model Donna Dubé. And tell us about the designer here.
This one was, the symbol of money. You can see the notes rolled up on the sleeve here, but
are they all notes?
Yes, actually, sort of pseudo notes, pseudo bank notes. So it's a reaction between sort of modern living and how money has affected the decade. This is a very, very clever design. This one,
I've got to say, and is it that's like a mesh, a very light silver mesh?
Yes,
with
it's hand knitted. Again, that's knitted.
Hand
knitted, yes.
Yeah. Pearl one, drop one.
I'm sorry, I don't think it's hand knitted. I think it's done on a very fine knitting machine. But she actually did knit it herself.
Very, very creative. And you definitely have to have the body to wear that one.
Without question.
Some of us could fill it out a little bit more than others. But that looks pretty spectacular.
Donna does very well.
Very well. And who's the designer, Mark, on that one? Designer on the symbol of money? Okay, we did say it wasn't quite wearable and or washable fashion. Are they gloves, rubber gloves?
They are. You actually can't get too close to this one because it's sort of the smell overpowers you. But
Jason Duff, welcome. And the designer, Juliette Marshall. Juliette...
She's from Perth, and Ansell actually sponsored the dress by donating the rubber gloves.
You're not serious.
Yeah.
Oh. Where's Jeannie Little?
It's very expensive buying all those gloves, you imagine. But as Mark said, it does smell. But it's very wild, even down to the shoes.
If you're looking at the decade, what is that telling us?
Well, this was basically relating to the phenomenon of this decade of drag queens. Oh. Priscilla, you know, the success of them on the stage, and it's homage.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much, Jason. In the pink Ansell gloves, celebrating the decade of the drag queens. And our last is untitled. Our model is Kelly, and the designer, Elizabeth Marquis from the University of Technology. Very pretty.
Yes, this one is actually quite beautiful, and the actual headdress here actually comes off. So this has got both, I think hits both factors. It's both modern and at the same time it's wearable.
And what is it? Are they sequins or...
Yes, sequins and studs. And what she did was, again, this is a woven fabric that she pulled all the threads on and then painted each piece with latex, rubber latex, and coloured it. So it's quite sensual on the touch.
So how would that feel? So that what sort of fabric to start with?
It was a cotton, like a knit, and then she pulled it. You can see there all the threads are pulled, and then she painted it with latex. But it hasn't got a dirty handle, you know, like normally you'd think if it was latex it'd be awful. It's quite beautiful.
Wow, that does look very sensual.
Yeah, and a great sense of proportion to this one.
And is there a statement of the decade that we should be being revealed here?
Well, I think this sort of shows a luxurious side to the decade. I think this designer is obviously interested in things that are both wearable and that are creative. But yeah, it's got that sort of luxury. Yeah.
What happens on Friday night when the winner is picked?
Well, Smirnoff then take the winner to London to compete on the catwalk there with 36 other countries. Whoever wins has to make another 3 garments to go with this one. And if they win the international award, we were shortlisted to the final 5 last year in Canada. They win around $22,000 Australian and a year at Central St Martin's, which is the top design school in the world.
Wow.
So it's not bad, but a trip to London is pretty good for a week.
Oh, darn right.
As well.
Now, the first time apparently people can get tickets to go and see the awards.
Yes, the demand was so much, it was so popular that we decided to do it at the State Theatre this year, and the tickets are for sale and they're only $25.
Excellent. Well, it's terrific to be able to support young Australian designers. Are we getting better? You've done a couple of these. Are we getting better?
It changes every year. I think it's with most things.
Are you, as a designer, and you've written about fashion, are you proud of what Australia's now producing?
And I get prouder every year. And each year we have judges of the calibre of Mark Keary, and they're always blown away by the professionalism of the garments, the way they're made, and the exuberance of the designers.
Yeah, I gotta say, just looking down that line, that is pretty spectacular. Thank you very much for walking us through models. You've done a sensational job. Congratulations to all the designers. May the best designer win. Please thank Mark Patrick and Mark Keary.
Plus the world's most outrageous fashion awards held right here in Sydney.
Things like this are a fantastic opportunity for young people that are, trying to learn and trying to get experience.
Held in Sydney.
Complete and utter fantasy. It's great.
Fashion awards are usually real eye-openers, but this year's Smirnoff International Awards went one step further. You see, the theme of the 1997 parade was decadence, and Australia's most talented and innovative young designers were told to be as outrageous as possible. As you could well imagine, that's like waving a red dress at a bull. Awards night organiser Mark Patrick shows what they came up with.
And then I want to see a beautiful thing. And I think I lean around, can you believe what you're seeing? Bit of that.
I'm a bit anxious about getting my dress over my head.
Well, you're going to...
It's a great opportunity. Just to have my garment up there on stage is, you know, I'm proud to be here.
Well, it's the only international award in Australia. It's represented in 36 countries. So it actually gives the students an opportunity, or one student, to go overseas and compete against those countries.
I only really had time to enter one competition this year, and I chose to enter Smirnoff because it's definitely sort of the best fun competition to enter.
I think it's really good to give the students a chance to express their individuality and show their own style. Really, that's about it. And plus, it's great for the people to come and look at something like that, because it's really European, and we don't get to see a lot of out there kind of stuff here.
We had in excess of 300 entries this year, closer to 350, and out of those you pick 25 students.
Everyone's work's really good, so anyone could win, I think.
Fabrication's extremely important because they're all quite unique.
I used cooking kelp, so I was down at my Asian food supply store regularly buying heaps of dried seaweed. I think that they were a bit flabbergasted. They weren't quite sure what I was doing with 10 packets of the stuff.
Anything I would actually wear? I'm a little conservative now. I'm a bit of an old mummy now.
For the person that wins, who goes to London, Alexander McQueen is actually going to be one of the judges for the international competition. So it's very, very exciting. And I think we've got some wonderful talent here tonight. What do you think? One final round of applause for them. Congratulations to all of you. The big winner is...
Elizabeth McCracy.
So lucky to be here. It's great. It's really a highlight.
Whole new meaning to a bag of fruit. Tomorrow night, the men who rescued Stuart Diver will use a specially built model.
Recently, Australia's design students were given a chance to kickstart their careers by entering the Smirnoff International Fashion Awards. And the creator of this winning design is on her way to London to compete against budding young designers from all over the world. We welcome to the show the design winner, Elizabeth Macris, and joining her today to talk about the face of fashion in Australia is Australian designer Nicole Zimmerman. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Elizabeth, on that winning design. Nicole, as a judge on the panel, what made this a winning design?
Well, I think we were really impressed by the simplicity of the silhouette, but then when you actually look at the garment, the technology involved in the make on it was quite amazing. And just the subtle colours, and it has a very modern feel, so that's why it was a winner for us.
Sure. Elizabeth, what was the theme and the inspiration behind your design?
It was information overload. It's basically about the speed of communication and where technology is taking us in this decade.
So what kind of materials did you use here? We can see the lovely colour, but if you touch it, it's almost rubberised, isn't it? What is it?
It is rubberised.
It is?
It's basically a unravelled knitted fabric. It was originally a Versace fabric.
Yeah.
And then it was latexed in like a gluey substance and then beaded.
Beautiful cleaning, just wipe it over. Yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? And we can see it modelled delightfully too by Kyla from Channel V, doing a great job. Thank you very much, Kyla. Let's take a look at the three running-up designs, Nicole. Perhaps you can take us through them here. These are stunning within themselves.
The first one was the runner-up, and what we're really impressed with that was that it was knitted by the designer themselves, and it's just, again, it's quite subtle and sophisticated, but has a really nice sort of stage presence, and still quite simple, but really impressive. And then the third one.
Well, just before we get off this one's modelled by Kate, and those are supposed to be $100 notes that are wrapped up there. Yes. Imagine if Kate walked into the ballroom with all. Never wear anything around your neck worth more than your head, Mum used to tell me.
Probably wouldn't got past the judging panel if it was true, but no.
Hey, fantastic! Oh, look at that! Hey, it's a lot of work. How genuinely creative is that? That's fabulous. And the second runner-up, modelled by Yvette Duncan from MTV.
Yeah, well, that one has got a bit of a tribal sort of feel to it, but it still has got a very high fashion content in it, in that, you know, you can take components apart and it could still work, you know, in fashion today, and we were really impressed by that.
I am too. It is just stunning, isn't it?
It's
This is a
beautiful.
very high standard. That is just fantastic. And the third runner-up, modelled by Kelly today, in blue.
Yeah, well, that one actually got the fabrication award, and we was just really impressed with how she actually made the entire fabric of the garment itself, and, you know, pressed the numbers through, and sort of that was just quite amazing. That really impressed us.
Just move for us, Kelly. Kelly can look like the Tin Man if she wants to.
Yeah, it's a really fun sort of little outfit.
It would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They are just beautiful. I'm so impressed. Magnificent. And of course, for you, Elizabeth, creating the winning design sends you off to London, and you'll do that once you've completed your course in November this year.
Yeah, I don't think I will have completed quite by then, but yeah,
Okay.
I'll be back to...
So you'll be competing internationally over there. New design?
Yep, we've got another 3 designs that I'll be making up to
How many people would you be competing against internationally in this competition?
36 countries.
Okay.
So it's quite exciting stuff.
And Nicole, is Australia starting to get a name for itself in the fashion industry on an international basis?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think on an international basis, and I think also here within Australia that the Australian public is really appreciating design much more than they used to. So I think, you know, it's happening. Design is a very important thing for us now, so it's great.
And competitions like this are bringing out the best in our students too. But what do you think students need to know about the industry that they don't teach you at design school? Well, taking it from your experience and your great success, what are the hidden things?
I think that it's mainly that it's a long, hard haul, and, you know, it's a lot of hard work. But I mean, these guys already do a lot of hard work at college, but it's possibly a little bit more fun work than what we actually do. So.
Well, they start at the bottom, don't they? From pattern cutting.
Oh yeah.
And then move right through.
You could even
to
say
all facets.
sweeping, possibly.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you say that? Sweeping?
Probably. At some point.
Part of it.
It's a tough industry, and you know, you really have to persevere with it.
Now, for you, Elizabeth, as a young student, did you always want to be a fashion designer, and where did it start for you?
Originally I wanted to be a psychologist, but I've always been interested in people, so this is another form of it, and it's just really great creating.
Maybe psychiatry is a good background for designing something like this.
Very handy.
Now, how many years have you been at your course? 4 years?
4 years.
Okay, so it's taken 4 years then to create a design of this nature, this winning design, and you say you've got 3 others to take internationally.
Yeah, and I'll be getting lots of support from my university as well. That's been really great.
Fabulous. You can't give us a hint as to the design you're taking over there? Is it similar or?
Yes, I'll be using a similar fabrication, and
that was also part of the reason. Another reason why Elizabeth won is because the garments that went with this, it goes like a set, like a team or a range, and we're also very impressed with how they all coordinated together.
Well, I think before we leave, we should thank our models once again, and we can see Kyla there from Channel V in the winning design. That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Kyla. And look at that, and Kate in the, well, bones. What would you call that? You give that a name? I called it bones, but it's not really. It's $100 notes there. The first runner-up, second runner-up, Yvette Duncan from MTV. Well done, Yvette, and a terrific design. And our third runner-up design was modelled by Kelly in the blue. And Elizabeth, good luck to you. I hope you do very well overseas in London in November. Yeah, and thank you very much for coming in, and also to Nicole. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great judging effort.
Thank you.
Terrific stuff. Nicole Zimmerman, our guests, and Elizabeth Macris, and our models today. Now, do you know the laws that relate to music?